I'm going to be hopping around, Lenny, if that's all right, with the passages, instead of giving the passages one after the other in the sequence that Aeschylus had planned for his audience. For various reasons, I find it good to start with this one as we consider the two dramas other than the Agamemnon of Aeschylus. And here you have, at the very beginning, Athena addressing the Furies, the Reassures, and assuring them that even though they seem to be dishonored by what's happening in this drama, since Orestes is not going to get punished for the death of his mother, nevertheless, the Reassures, who are the embodiment of exacting vengeance for an injustice that has been committed earlier, these Reassures, which we translate as Furies, will still get honor. And in our project, we've all been very careful to note that tīmē is not just honor in an everyday sense, it's also the honor that you pay by way of worshiping and by way of engaging in ritual to the superhuman powers that you want to have on your side. And so, to put it in one word, cult. The cult of the Reassures will still happen, although we're going to try to think of Reassures in positive as well as negative ways. That's why they're ultimately called the Eumenides, Eumenides, which is those who are kindly disposed.
In a way, the tīmē can also be the actual sphere of the cult as well as the cult itself, right?
I'm so glad you said that it's the sphere of the cult, because this will help me make the jump that it's not just the cult of the Furies, it's also hero cult transformed, because all along, from the very beginning of this project, we have seen that tīmē, in the case of ancient Greek heroes, can mean not only an honor that you give to the hero when the hero is alive in the heroic age, but also the ritual of hero cult, of hero worship that you give to that same hero after he is dead or she is dead and somehow immortalized after death. That's the mystery, but that honor has to be there, okay? And in this particular text, and that's why I chose it as the first, text A, there's a reference to the house of Erechtheus. Erechtheus is for the Athenians, who are, after all, the context for Athenian state theater, the proto-hero, the cult hero par excellence
of the
for
Athenian
Athens.
city-state.
There he is. He's the proto-hero. In fact, ideologically, he is the ancestor of all Athenians. I'll use my favorite word, notionally. He's notionally the ancestor of every blessed Athenian. And so when Athena says, you Furies are going to get cult, you're going to get tīmē, which is cult, it's directly tied
to the local Athenian hero.
To the local Athenian hero, to the concept of the local Athenian hero who was born from the earth. So this is Mr. Earthborn. Heroes come and go for Athens. There's so many of them. But Erechtheus is their ancestor who came from Mother Earth himself. And so you see the fact that the Reassures will be residing under the earth. And when you go to Athens and you go to the hill of Ares, you can actually see where the Athenians imagine the Furies to be worshipped in this cave. Unfortunately, now there's an iron fence that prevents us from looking more closely. But anyway, there it is, and so that's what's going to happen to them if they accommodate with Athena. And for good measure, if we go towards the end of this passage that I selected, near 869, we see the word tīmē again, with genuine honor to share in this land that is most dear to the gods.
So you've basically resemanticized their function and incorporated them into the cult of this hero and the city-state.
And resemanticize is just the right word for us because sēma is built into that word, so the meaning has been transformed,
Exactly.
and the meaning still involves the idea of the dead hero as marked by the sēma.
Exactly.
Couldn't have used that English word better.
Okay, good.